We're doing a fun, different side dish recipe, or it could be the main course. This is something I think you see a lot of times at an Italian restaurant,
Yes,
a fancy Italian restaurant. We're talking about polenta. To be honest, I've never cooked it at home, but I absolutely love it, so I'm excited about this recipe.
Yeah, you know, actually polenta is just a coarsely ground corn. And it's very popular in northern Italy, also in the south too. A lot of people cook it as porridge. But then if you cook it a little bit longer, it gets thicker. And if you kind of cool it, you can actually form it into, you know, fry little pieces of it as well. So we're going to use that in our casserole today, kind of like an egg bake, but a little twist on an egg bake, so it's perfect for a brunch.
Ooh, that sounds great.
Of course, uses Wisconsin cheese as well. So what we're going to do is we start out with 8 cups of water that's boiling. And we're going to add some special seasonings to it. We have some salt and pepper, and then we have rosemary and thyme.
And this is just the dry. Now I've got some butter over here. I'm going to add some mushrooms too.
Yes,
to get
mushrooms
that going.
and garlic right there. We're going to get that.
A whole bunch of mushrooms. It looks like
about 4 cups of mushrooms. I have a mixture of shiitake and button mushrooms, and there's some garlic there too, Amy, that we could put there as well.
And let that cook and hang out
we're
together?
going to let that cook about 10 minutes.
Okay, so garlic and mushrooms in some butter in this pan. And in this other pan over here, we added salt and pepper, rosemary, boiling water, and what was the other herb? Was there
rosemary, thyme.
Thyme.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So it's kind of an herb polenta, flavored polenta. Now, when that's at a rolling boil, you're going to add 2 cups of the polenta.
And this is what it looks like. Show everybody how you found it at the grocery store.
This is easily found in the grocery store. It's generally in the natural foods or organic section, but they have a whole bunch of different, you know, quinoa, all kinds of different grains there. And this one as well. Easy to find.
This says corn grits, also known as polenta. So, but you don't want to get the grits that you'd eat for breakfast cereal.
Correct.
This is different. This is different. So we're waiting for this to come to a boil.
Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll stir that in. Okay.
We're just about there. We'll put the lid on it here.
Yeah.
So this is something. Can you make it ahead if you're having like a dinner party?
Yes, you can. Actually, I prepared this last night and put it into the oven this morning. So you could certainly do that. And this is perfect for a brunch because you can cut them into squares and serve them. It's best served warm, but you know, it's really simple to make.
So like a luncheon or a brunch, or I was thinking a side dish with grilled chicken would be
that
really
would be
good,
perfect too.
You know,
and it actually uses 2 Wisconsin cheeses. It uses Parmesan cheese, which provides some creaminess and nuttiness, and provolone cheese too.
I like both of those. Okay, so
we can kind of start stirring that in there.
All right.
And you slowly, you pour it in there slowly. I'm going to kind of stir it. Be careful though. This can pop because when this particular grain gets hot, it can pop. So you want to get that going there. And this does take a while, okay? So you want that to boil for maybe about 5 minutes, stirring it constantly, okay? And then when it's to that point, we'll assume it is, we have some roasted red peppers that we're going to stir into that.
This is just the jarred kind?
The jarred kind that's been drained and chopped.
See, you can kind of see it's popping here, so I'm going to stand back.
Okay. And then what you would do is cover that for about 45 minutes, okay? And then at the very end, you would add some other ingredients to it, which would be a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, which has that butter.
This is after it's cooked down and it's getting thick at this point. Butter.
2 tablespoons of butter. So this is kind of a spicy polenta, a little bit of red pepper flakes, okay?
All right, so this is done, cooked, pretend that, you know, TV time, and we actually have some over here that's to that point.
So when it gets to that point, you remove it. So this part actually can be done ahead of time as well, okay? And it's a nice thick mixture. So while you're finishing the mushrooms, I'm going to start pressing that into my 9x13 pan here. Now the mushrooms, just at that point, you want to actually add a cup of cream, heavy cream, a little salt and pepper, and some parsley. Okay, and that's going to be our mushroom mixture. So, and that's garlicky mushrooms that pairs really well with all these other flavors. Okay, so I'm using my gloves and hands to press this in here because it's nice and thick. And you want to take about half of that and make a layer on the bottom.
So it looks pretty mushy. That's how it's supposed to be, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a soft, very soft. And of course, you're going to bake this, and it will actually get a little bit softer as well.
Okay.
All right. So we have about half of that in there. Okay, and then we are going to put our mushroom mixture, and we have some actually finished there that's been reduced, because you want to reduce that cream for about another 10 minutes or so.
So you see how it looks now after the cream, and we've got the parsley in there, and salt and pepper. So the mushrooms go, all of them go right on top?
All of them on top, yep.
Oh my goodness, this looks fantastic.
And then I have the provolone cheese ready here. Take these off for a minute. And just spread that all over.
bet.
Doesn't that look delicious there? And all that creaminess and those flavors go together so well. And the provolone cheese, we're going to use some of the sliced. Just get one of those packages that has like 12 slices in there.
Okay.
We'll put half on now. All right, then we put the rest of our polenta on. Okay, and get my gloves on again.
Just make a real nice big batch, it looks like, too,
Yeah.
Karen.
And you know, this actually, mine was sitting for a little while. It may not be quite as cold if you're doing it. You just don't really need to have it be cold. It could just be more room temperature.
Okay.
Okay, put that on there as well. And then we're going to
More cheese?
put the rest of the cheese on top.
Okay.
This goes into a preheated 375 degree oven
Okay.
for about 20 minutes till it gets kind of bubbly and the cheese browns on top.
Okay.
And then it's done.
We're gonna
and
show it
ready to
what it
go.
looks like when it comes out of the oven. Looks fantastic. And then we also have it plated up. Like I said, this is going to feed, this is
Yep.
heavy, dense
Perfect
casserole.
for those brunches that are happening in May and all that. And,
Right, right.
you know, you
Something
could
totally different.
maybe put a few peppers on there to kind of tie it in with some thyme. And there you go.
Really, really
Okay.
pretty. And then we've got a piece of
Right,
it.
it shows you how the cheese and the mushrooms and the
Oh my
peppers are all
gosh,
in there.
Karen, that looks
That good?
absolutely fantastic. Wow. A little labor intensive, but it's worth it.
It's a
I
lot of
think.
fun
Yeah,
for those special occasions, you know,
Exactly.
graduations, etc.
exactly. Karen's going to stick around and do a new twist on deviled eggs, another party favorite. We'll be back. Stay with us.